Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Wolfinia. This is episode 276 of my Minecraft survival series, and we have been making a lot of progress in the city as of late. Last episode, we did some work over here at the House of Leaves. Hey, Sawyer, we got our mud farm going, our glowberry farm going. We also cleared out some land in the area surrounding Wolfinia in our ongoing quest to make Wolfinia more into its own little island. But today, we are turning our attention back to the Waterside district of Wolfinia. Now, the last time we were over here in the Waterside district of Wolfinia, we managed to complete construction of the exterior of these two towers that kind of serve as side wings to the main structure of the Waterside district, which will kind of wrap around the outer edge right there, the outer perimeter of the Waterside district. And today, well, that's what we're going to be working on. Now, given the fact that this is one big structure that wraps around the outside of the Waterside district, we're going to be using a similar block palette, or actually the same block palette we use on these towers, to complete the connecting section right here. Which means, there's not going to be any picking and choosing of block palettes, no real experimentation needed. Once I get everything together, we can get started. Ow. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking that for right now, we are mainly going to focus on this kind of interior section of the outer ring of the structure surrounding the Waterside district. Now, obviously, there are two sides to this. There is a whole exterior here. Obviously, the exterior is a wider radius, which means it's going to be bigger. There's going to be more blocks to put down. I'm not sure that we're going to get to it today. We might. I don't know. It all depends on how things go on the interior section. So, knowing that is what we're going to be working on, I think we should go ahead and get started. At this point, let's go ahead and call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. At this point, the interior of this outer ring is pretty much done, and I like it. I like it. The Waterside district as a whole, like if you look at it from the inside here, it looks almost complete. I mean, it's not, like there's still a lot of interior work to do. There's still landscaping and stuff to do, but if you look at it from down here, like this area is now enclosed. You don't really see any of the incomplete stuff, so we can almost pretend like it's done, right? This is, I like this. I don't know. I love the feel of this. Like, it takes a while for things to come together here in Wolfinia, but once they do start coming together, I don't know. It's very satisfying. Just kind of seeing, all this now in place. At this point, I need to give some consideration to what I want to do with the interior here, because the interior layout of this is kind of weird. I think instead of having the first floor go down to where it currently is, we need to have it go up instead, just because of the layout of the windows and the walls and the doors and all that mess. It'll take some doing to figure out, but it'll be good, because we do need a little bit more room for this area down below. Now, speaking of the area down below, I think I am actually going to go ahead and get rid of the grassy floor here, just so I can better see the space I have to work with, better be able to plan stuff out, because as far as planning the interior to this build goes, I got nothing as of right now. This will be something I need to look at and actually plan out, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of room to do that at this point. I think we can go ahead and call the drone back over here, put on a little bit of music, just clear out some space, open up some area and whatnot. Welcome back, everybody. So at this point, you can see we have the grass removed now. That lets us kind of see the space we have available to us to work in. And I think that's going to hopefully make it easier for me to plan some stuff out in here. But in addition to removing all this grass right here, I've also raised up these outer grounds right here just to give us a little bit more room here. This dirt is going to have to come out also eventually. It's not something I'm going to worry about right now, though. That does give us a better area to work with, though, and probably a more interesting shape for the ceiling. And it does not compromise the outer area here, because, you know, it's still walkable. It's still, you know, just a kind of back area, to be honest with you. Nothing really special about it. At least not yet. I don't know. Future plans may change that. But you can see we also did the same thing to this other side here. So, yeah, I mean, whatever we do to one side, we can do to the other, and it should be pretty simple to kind of make things work once we get at least some of it figured out. There is one thing we could do for right now, though, because we do have this front area done, so we can also do the landscaping in this front area, and it's going to be pretty easy landscaping. It's going to be just kind of overgrown with bushes, plants, and tall grass everywhere, just because yard work isn't something I'm a huge fan of. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw some foliage around here, and we'll see how it looks. Dang it. There we go. There we go. We got our landscaping looking suitably messy, just wild and overgrown. And I think that's going to work. I don't plan on really walking through these areas too much. Yeah, our villagers will be able to get over here. They might use this opportunity to walk themselves over the edge. But, you know, if they do, that's their own dang fault. It's not my responsibility anymore. We'll call the Coast Guard out to rescue them from the waters if need be. But yeah, I like it. Owie. Okay, so I think in the time we have left for this episode, I could probably actually get the outside of this done, but I'm not going to because there's only a certain amount of building I really feel like doing for these episodes, and I think I've hit my limit for this one. One thing I don't get tired of, though, digging. I actually have been in the mood to dig more than I've been in the mood to build, and I think we're going to make our way back out here to continue clearing out the land surrounding Wolfinia. Now, we're going to do this a little bit differently than we have been. Instead of taking out like cubish portions of land like we have been, I think I'm instead going to draw some boundaries that will hopefully look a little bit more natural. So basically what I'm intending to do is I'm intending to kind of carve a coastline for this area right here. Maybe coming down through this way and kind of encompassing these mountainous areas. That way I don't have to carve them out. That way we don't have to take them down. It means less work for me. It means I get to be a little bit more lazy. It also gives us potentially a little island here off the coast of Wolfinia to possibly do something with in the future. Now, I don't actually have any plans for this, but I do like the idea of giving myself less work, and if I can somehow justify that by saying we might do something with this area in the future, well, that's all the better. Now, I mean, the basic plan is to do this rough, just to get the lines in, get the elevation changes in, get the actual coastline in, but we're not going to make it pretty. We're not going to dress it up. We're not going to, you know, place down sand and do any landscaping or anything like that today. Right now, all I'm really looking for is the general shape of it. All right, I think we're almost ready to go. I'm just getting prepared, getting all our beacons moved over and stuff like that. You can see we have one beacon visible over there in the distance. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one moved over as well, and then we should be good to go. All right, you guys know the plan. I know the plan. We're gonna cut out some of this land. Let's go ahead and call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. At this point, we do have everything divided up. Let's say everything's divided up. We have a very clear line where everything on the right side of this will stay and everything on the left side of this water will go. You can see that makes its way all the way over here and kind of divides this area up nicely. Now, the area that's going to stay, it's not completely done yet. It's not completely shaped. It is very rough in some spots. But we'll fix that. Every time I go over like this way towards the storage system over there, we get massive stutter as that loads in. Just, you know, bear with me for right now. All right, let's go ahead and go over our incidental resources. Now, as far as incidental resources go, we did get some coal. We also got some iron. Not a ton of either, but you know what, that's fine. This is stuff that we just came across naturally while we were digging. In addition to that, we also have our tools, which will need to be mended up. We went through more shovels than anything this time. You know, not a bad little digging session. But you know what? I like this. I like leaving this little island here on top of the fact that that gives us a lot less to dig out as far as this area goes. In fact, we don't have a ton left to dig out as far as the above water sections of this area go. So we might try to work on this a little bit more in the next episode, just try to get, you know, a little bit more of this done. Mostly because I don't know, I've just been in the mood to dig lately. That's just what I've mainly been in the mood to do. So we're going to do it regardless of if it makes good content or not. So, I mean, you guys probably know what time it is right now, especially if we're getting back to the digging in the next episode. That means we are going to have to end this episode off with a little bit of mending to make sure we're prepared. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go meet up with our villagers. All right, so we are all mended up. We're ready to go. Next episode, as I said, we'll do a little bit more digging. That means next episode, we will also spend a little bit more time with these guys. And next episode, we will also spend a little bit more time getting the exterior of the Waterside district thing complete. This is such a nice site to fly over to. This is such a big change. I love it. I am very happy right now with our progress for this episode. Yeah, more to come. So this is where we call it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more of Wolfinia, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed your stay in Wolfinia. I will see you guys later.